Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I want to talk about the meaning of sexual abuse and the example of sexual abuse. First, sexual abuse refers to any form of sexual activity or behavior that is forced, coerced, or inflicted on someone without their consent. It is a violation of an individual's autonomy, rights, and personal boundaries, and it can cause significant physical, emotional, and psychological harm to the victim. Sexual abuse is not limited to physical action but can also include verbal, emotional, and psychological manipulation. So, for the first example of the sexual abuse is called rape. Rape involves any form of non-consensual sexual intercourse or penetration, regardless of the circumstance. And for the second one is molestation. This can involve unwanted sexual touching or groping, often occurring in private or non-consensual situation. For the third one is sexual exploitation. This includes using someone's body for sexual purpose without their consent, such as forcing someone into prostitution or pornography. Verbal sexual abuse. This includes making sexually inappropriate comments, threats, or gestures that create a hostile or unsafe environment for the victim. The fifth one is sexual harassment. For the sexual harassment, this involves unwanted sexual advance, comments, or behavior that makes someone feel uncomfortable or threatened, especially in the workplace or public space. And the sixth one is incest. This is a form of sexual abuse that occurs within a family where one family member sexually exploits another, often a child. For the seventh one is child sexual abuse. Any form of sexual abuse activity involving a minor who is unable to give consent. This could involve touching, sexual acts, or exploitation. Coercion or manipulation. This includes situations where someone is pressured or manipulated into engaging in sexual activities, even if the victim agrees but does so out of fear or force. And for the lastly is sexual abuse can occur in any context and is a grave violation of human dignity. The effects of victim can be long-lasting and may include trauma, anxiety, depression, and difficulty forming healthy relationship in the future. It is critical to recognize that sexual abuse is always the responsibility of the abuser, and victims should ever feel shame or guilt for what happened to them. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is 𝗚𝗘𝗡𝗥𝗔𝗟 binti Shardin. Now I want to talk about cause of sexual abuse. The cause of sexual abuse do not occur without reason. There are several key factors that contribute to these issues, including individual factors, social factors, and technological factors. Firstly, individual factors. One of the main individual causes is the lack of self-control, where a person is unable to regulate their sexual urges and desires. Individuals like this often act without considering the consequences for the victim, possibly due to ignorance, exposure to pornography, or personal aggression. They tend to take advantage of others, leading to sexual abuse when they have no clear boundaries. Additionally, mental disorders are one of the contributing causes of sexual abuse. Some individuals who commit abuse without guide may suffer from disorders such as pedophilia, sociopathy, or other sexual behavior disorders. Without proper treatment, they have a higher likelihood of committing sexual crimes, as they struggle to control their impulses and desires. Second is social factors. From a social perspective, the lack of sex education in society leads to many individuals not understanding the concept of consent, personal boundaries, and the consequences of non-consensual sexual acts. Without yearly exposure to correct information, they are easily influenced by misinformation, whether from press, media, or the internet. This can result in immoral behavior such as sexual harassment becoming normalized, thus increasing the likelihood of sexual abuse occurring in society. Another social factor is the influence of patriarchal culture. Patriarchal societies often place men in position of power while viewing women as weak. As a result, this societal structure contributes to the rise in sexual abuse cases. Some individuals believe they have the right to control or exploit others, particularly women and children. Additionally, this culture can make victims afraid to speak up, fearing they will be blamed or not believed, allowing perpetrators to remain free without consequences. And lastly is technological factors. The spread of pornographic content is a significant technological factor contributing to the rise in sexual abuse cases. The widespread availability of pornography, especially on the internet, can shape distorted perception of sexual relationship and consent, particularly among young people. Porn addiction may also drive some individuals to seek satisfaction through inappropriate means, such as harassment or sexual exploitation. Furthermore, the rise in sexual abuse cases is also linked to the growth of social media. Predators often use platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp to approach and manipulate victims, particularly children and teenagers. Cases such as grooming and sextortion are becoming increasingly common, where perpetrators deceive victims into sharing personal image or information, become blackmailing them. Without proper regulation and awareness, social media becomes a medium that facilitates sexual exploitation.
Hello, my name is 𝗚𝗘𝗡𝗥𝗔𝗟. Today I want to talk about causes of sexual abuse. First, sexual abuse has profound and long-lasting negative effects on individuals, their families, and society as a whole. Some of the major causes or consequences of sexual abuse include: first, psychological and emotional damage. This is because survivors often suffer from trauma, including anxiety, depression, post-traumatic, and stress disorder. Guilty shame, and the last thing is low self-esteem. The second cause is physical harm. This is because sexual abuse can result in immediate physical injuries, sexually transmitted infection, and in some cases, unwanted pregnancies. Third is difficulty in relationship. This is mean survivor may struggle with forming healthy relationship, often dealing with trust issue, intimacy challenge, and the fear of being re-traumatized. Next is long-term health problem. Mental health disorder, chronic illnesses, and substance abuse are common long-term consequences. Survivors may also develop chronic pain and other health issues linked to the trauma. The next cause is social isolation. Many survivors experience feeling of the social isolation due to the stigma associated with sexual abuse. They might withdraw from friends and family or avoid social situations to protect themselves. Other than that, the cause of sexual abuse is impact on future generation. Survivor may unintentionally repeat cycle or abuse, or their children might also experience difficulties such as emotional or behavior problem stemming from the trauma. Lastly, the cause of sexual abuse can impact of the legal and social costs. This is because sexual abuse case can involve significant legal proceeding and researches. The long-term social cost includes increased demand for mental health service, counseling, and support networks. The conclusion is these consequences underscore the importance of prevention, education, and providing support of survivors of sexual abuse.
Hi, my name is 𝗚𝗘𝗡𝗥𝗹. So today I'm going to talk about sexual abuse. Everyone has the right to decide what they do or they don't want to do sexually. Not all sexual assaults are violent attacks. What to do if you have been sexually assaulted? First, get to a safe place away from the attacker. You may be scared, angry, and confused, but remember, the abuse was in no way your fault. There is some options you can do. First, contact someone you trust. Many people feel fear, guilt, anger, shame, or shock after they have been sexually assaulted. Having someone there to support you as you deal with these emotions can make a big difference. Report what happened to the police. If you do decide to report what happened, you will have a stronger case if you do not alter or destroy any evidence. This means don't shower, wash your hair or body, comb your hair or change your clothes, even if it's hard to do. If you are nervous about going to the police stations, it may help to bring a friend with you. There may also be sexual assault advocates in your area who can assist you and answer your questions. Lastly, go to an emergency room or health clinic. It is very important for you to seek health care as soon as you can after being assaulted. You will be treated for any injuries and offered medications to help prevent pregnancy and STI. In conclusion, sexual abuse is a serious and deeply harmful issue that affects individuals, families, and society as a whole. It causes lasting physical, emotional, and physiological trauma to survivors, making it essential to provide them with the necessary support, justice, and healing opportunities. This chapter describes how the understanding of the construct of sexual abuse can be the factor in prevention, protection, assessment, and treatment of sexual offenses. Education open and describe legal enforcement play key roles in addressing sexual abuse. By working together, we can create a safer society where everyone is free from the threat of sexual abuse.